When it comes to Black Friday, there are hundreds and thousands of deals to be had. However, there are definitely some pitfalls that I think you need to take into account before you rush to those websites, buy those games, and really miss out on some savings. So I'm not going to give you any discount codes, and this isn't going to be a cheat code for Black Friday, but this is what I do during Black Friday and what you should be considering if you want to try and save as much money as possible. Last year, I was still documenting me building a video game collection, and I picked up just 2 games in Black Friday. Why? Was it because of these methods that I'm about to show you, or was it because I was being cheap? Yeah, it was the latter. I was being cheap. The games I picked up I still have. They were Turtles, the Cowabunga Collection, and Shredder's Revenge, PS4 and PS5. Now, the reason I have them on different consoles are not the same. This was actually sold out on the PS5, so I had to just settle for the PS4. And they were a little bit too expensive for me personally on the Switch, so I decided to get them on the PlayStation. Now, do I regret that? Kind of, because I do really want to play them on the Switch. I think they'd be better handheld. But with that being said, the reason I only picked up 2 games is kind of because I couldn't tell what was a good deal and what wasn't. Now, I didn't necessarily know what the price of these games were at the beginning of November, so how do I know how much they've actually knocked off? And that is almost the entire takeaway from this video. You don't know how much the games are right now unless you go and look right now. So when it comes to Black Friday itself, you'll go to the Amazon website or whatever other website you're going to look at, but we're going to use Amazon in this example, and we're going to use Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. Now, this isn't actually a game I see going down in Black Friday. It hasn't been out that long, right? So you'll see that they have the RRP, which is the original price, of course, for $69.99. And now they've got it at $61.99. Well, if they drop that to $59.99, do you honestly think they're going to put the RRP at $61.99? No, they're going to keep it at $69.99. So if you didn't know that it was £62 essentially today, on Black Friday when you read 59, you're going to be like, wow, they've actually dropped that by a fair bit. That's a good deal. When in actual fact, they've only dropped it by £2. See, they don't have to put what it was last week. They can put what it was when it was originally released. And I say that as if Amazon has ever charged $69.99. I think they've probably put it on their website as $69.99 when it was announced, and that is the price they're allowed to list it as the original price. They don't have to put what it was 2 or 3 days ago. One of the biggest releases every year is FIFA, or in this case EAFC, and they have it at $69.99, which I can vouch was the original price they had it on the website for when the game was first announced. I don't think it ever was £70 to buy, however. It is now $58.78. The game is going through some trouble, as it always does every year, to be fair. This isn't anything new. It's just because it's changed its name, it's had a little bit of publicity, or it's in trouble. People are sort of abandoning it when they've been doing that every single game cycle anyway. But this is one of those games that will go down. I put my house on it. I don't own my house, but that's not the point. This game will go down, and I imagine it will either go down to 50 or, in my opinion, I think it will probably go down to $39.99. They want to try and get people in. EA don't actually make money on the sale of their game. They make money on the in-game transactions.
Surprise mechanic.
So FIFA points or FC points or whatever we're calling them, right? They make money on that. They don't really make money on the game. They want to get people through the door. So they're going to drop this down as much as they possibly can. So I think £40 is probably a decent gateway. People will buy that for Christmas presents. And I imagine a lot of you will go out and buy it as well. But if you know that the original price is 70 and you thought that that's what it, or you think that's what it is right now, and then on Black Friday you see 39, you're like, wow, that's nearly 50% off, right? Gotta get that. That's a really good deal. In actual fact, still going to be a decent deal. It's not going to be quite that significant of a saving. It is 58 right now. If you go on Game, incidentally, it's 65 right now, which is crazy. Don't pay 65 for this game. While scrolling through and having a little look to see what games I might be interested in buying, I noticed that they've released Football Manager this year physically on the PlayStation 5. And even though I don't ever really see myself buying this, or rather playing this on console, I am quite tempted to pick it up. Now, it does say pre-order price, so it's not out yet on the consoles. It does say the 7th of December. Now, I always play FM on PC, but I may be tempted. There are some other games there to look out for, of course, if you haven't played any of those. But one of the biggest things I would say is that you need to go and look right now, after the video of course, to see what games you're actually interested in. Because yeah, it's all well and good leaving it to the day or the weekend or whatever it is, and you get an email, Black Friday started, come and have a look at our deals, we've discounted everything. So you go and have a look and you think, wow, £25 for that game is pretty good, I'm going to buy it. Little did you know that it was £25.98 yesterday, so you're only really saving £1. Now, if you're willing to pay £25 for the game and you think that's a good deal, it doesn't really matter that it was 26 quid yesterday or whatever, but would you have bought it knowing that they've only discounted it £1? And you are going to see that retail price at the original price they put it on the website for, so you think you're saving a tremendous amount of money, when in actual fact they've just knocked a quid off it, rounded it down to £24.99, and you think it's a good deal. So the biggest piece of advice that I can give you, and something that I'd wish I'd done last year, is go right now and have a little look at the Amazon website, the game website, any other website that you use to buy video games. Let me know in the comments where you buy your games, if you do buy them online, and make a note of those ones that you want. Maybe there's some Switch games, PS5 games, even Xbox games that you are interested in that you may think might go down. Make a note of them. Just go on, get a notepad, maybe even a pen and paper, go on your phone, make a little note and see what games will eventually go down in price. So if you've got Modern Warfare 3, FIFA, The Grinch Christmas Adventures, for example, and even Spider-Man 2, although I don't really see that going down if I'm honest, but you know, you've got those games in a list, you note the price down next to them, and then when Black Friday rolls around, you'll see how much they've actually gone down, because these websites and these retailers will try and con you at every single corner. They don't care about the moral aspect of this. They just want to try and get your money off you, right? So they may only drop it by 3 or 4 quid, put the original price at what they had it on the website for, and you're thinking you're getting a good deal when you're not really getting that good a deal, and you probably wouldn't have bought it had you known you're only saving like £1.99. It's one of the reasons why last year I only bought 2 games. That, and I was kind of being a little bit cheap if I'm honest, but the reason I only bought 2 games was because I only tracked those 2. Those were the games I really wanted to play, and I didn't really have anything else on my radar, when in actual fact, if I'd noted down a few games here or there that I was half interested in, maybe they came down enough that I would like, do you know what? I'll go and do that. So this year I am making a complete list. I will go through every single game on the PlayStation, on the Switch, even on the Xbox, and I will make a note to see how much they were originally, and I won't just go and buy these games online. I am going to go to retailers, and one of my favourite retailers to buy video games in is Asda. Asda have some fantastic deals on, and I honestly think they will have a Black Friday sale of some description, and they will discount a lot of their games. So don't shy away from popping into Asda around that Black Friday time to see if they've got any deals on. Of course, the other thing to note is going to be subscriptions. Now, this is the time of year where the majority of people will pick up their PlayStation Plus, Xbox Live, that kind of thing. If you didn't know, the retailers tend to discount these quite considerably. Now, I think it's through PlayStation themselves. I'm going to talk more about PlayStation than Xbox because I haven't actually bought Xbox Live for the longest time. I kind of leech off my brother for that. But when it comes to PlayStation Plus, we do actually split this 2 or 3 ways between me and 2 or 3 other people, and there are ways to do that, and you can go search. That's easy enough. But this is the time of the year that we buy it, and it does go down between like 30 and 50%, which is quite a considerable saving. So definitely something to look out for as well during the Black Friday sales is going to be the reduction of subscriptions, as well as things like accessories. Now, if I'm honest, I don't expect to see a massive reduction in things like controllers. You may find the base controller, the white one, drop by like £5, maybe £10. You will get a lot of third-party stuff go down in price, but the official PlayStation stuff, maybe the odd retailer here or there. Some smaller retailers will do deals on these. I desperately need a new controller. Mine is all but gone at this point. The left stick has so much drift on it, it is ridiculously difficult to play. So definitely worth looking out for controllers. Like I said, I don't think you'll get deals on all these different colours or anything, maybe just the base, but definitely something to note. It's going to cost me 60 quid if I want to get that right now. The other big thing, of course, is going to be consoles. Now, I've wanted an OLED for the longest time, but with rumours that there is going to be a Switch 2, or whatever we're calling it, at the end of 2024, I am very reluctant to go anywhere near buying an OLED, and I think I'm going to stay away from it again even longer. During Black Friday, I would imagine that Nintendo will take the opportunity to slice a small amount off their price. I wouldn't say slash, that's why I went with slice. I think they'll just cut a couple of quid off it. I don't think they're going to go mad here because they still sell loads of consoles. People will buy these regardless of what's on the horizon, right? So just note, £310 in game right now will get you an OLED, and it is the Mario Red edition as well. But to be fair, it looks like it's any edition, although you can get some games if you are a Fraser Plus Price member, whatever the hell that is. So yeah, definitely worth noting the price of consoles, but if you are looking to pick one up, when it comes to a Switch specifically, ask yourself, can you wait till the end of 2024? At least wait until the news comes out as to when we will get a Switch, because we may not get a Switch 2 at the end of 2024. They may even just announce it at the end and then release it in 2025. It's a very confusing time for everyone involved, and I'm not really up to date with the news, so for all I know, they've already announced it, right? But just bear in mind that consoles will probably go down, and specifically the Xbox Series S. Now, they've just released this black carbon console, or carbon black console. It is, of course, the digital only, which I think is a pretty good console. If you're not a physical collector, or you just want an entertainment system, if you will, this is a pretty good option. You know, you're not really bothered about discs on the Xbox. It has Game Pass. It's a really, really good service. And again, that might, probably won't, but it might go on sale during Black Friday. They might knock a couple of quid off it. But that aside, it's a good deal, right? So the new one is £300, which is a lot of money. And do I think that's worth it? Absolutely not. The difference is the double hard drive, so now it's a 1 terabyte, not a 512, and it's black. And I think that literally is the only difference. There's no performance upgrade or anything. So with that I don't think there is anyway. So with that being said, do I think it's worth an extra 50 quid? I mean, is it worth an extra 50 quid to double the size of the hard drive and have, in my opinion, is a nicer looking console? Yeah, it probably is. But I don't think £300 is worth it for this machine, and I don't think 250 quid is worth it for the white Series S either. You can have your choice of accessories with game, as you can see there, and you do get 3 months Game Pass Ultimate free with it as well, which is decent. But I think Microsoft will look to sell these white ones off, and they'll just then start mass manufacturing the black console, right? Because I think that's what they want people to buy. I think that's what people will want to buy as well. They want that bigger hard drive. So when it comes to the white Series S, you can get them on Facebook now for 100, 150 quid. And okay, you're not going to be getting it with games or anything because it's digital, but you might get like 2 controllers or something. But people do sell those off quite cheap. Now, at around this time of year, maybe not so much, because people will snap them up really quickly, because some people don't mind giving secondhand things as presents, and I don't mind receiving secondhand things as presents. If it's a good deal and it works and there's nothing wrong with it, why not, right? So go to Facebook Marketplace and find one if you want to get one. But don't be surprised to see these drop by at least 50 down to $199.99. I thought they were going to get a price reduction anyway, and they're the same price on Amazon right now. They're $250 for the white console with 3 months free Game Pass Ultimate, and I thought they were going to go down to £200 anyway. So with that being said, Black Friday rolls around, they drop it down to $199.99. Is it a deal, or is it just the price reduction Microsoft were promising anyway? I don't really know, so take it with a pinch of salt. But either way, I think it's a really good machine. It gets a lot of stick and has had a lot of stick in the past, but I do think it's a really good way of getting access to so many games and just insta-play. You know, it's so good. And that's one of the reasons why the Xbox Series X games really suffer, and people will more plump for the digital side when it comes to the Xbox stuff because of Game Pass. And that's why the physical games on the Xbox really, really struggle for sales, and you will be hard pressed to find a lot of them even on shelves in the next few months. I think a lot of retailers will just stop carrying them altogether. Now, CEX never really have Black Friday sales on. It would be really good if they did, but they've never participated, and I don't expect them to do it this year either. However, it might be worth cross-referencing whatever you decide to buy with CEX, because you never know, they may have had a little price reduction here or there, and some of the games are obviously cheaper in CEX than they are brand new. Not every game, which is annoying, but some games are. Now, Street Fighter, for example, is a game I'd like to pick up. I still haven't played it, and I would like to get my hands on it. It is £45 on Amazon right now on the PlayStation 5. If I go over to CEX, it's $32. That is a pretty significant price difference, if you ask me. Now, with that being said, there is another retailer I like to look at, and we've been there before. It's Amazon. No, it's Game, even. It's $37.99, which is still more expensive than CEX. However, you do get a steelbook with this. It is the Street Fighter 6 Steelbook Edition. So that screams a couple of things to me, to be fair. You can get it for an extra $5, kind of, with a steelbook, brand new from game. But what else it screams to me is that CEX may have a lot of steelbooks traded in. So when it comes to CEX, one of the things I love about them is that they don't tend to charge you more for a steelbook. I have made a lot of money off them, and I have a fair few in my collection now from buying them from CEX at the same price as the base standard edition of the game. So when it comes to steelbook editions, definitely go into CEX and have a little flick through the Street Fighter selection if you want that game. Maybe they have a steelbook edition of it, and you can get it for £32 if it's in decent condition. Definitely worth picking it up over game. With that being said though, this may very well go into a Black Friday sale, and if CEX don't reduce the price, then this will probably go down to the same, if not cheaper. It might go down to $29.99. It's definitely going to be a game that I put on my list and that I may look to pick up. The problem with buying games as a collector is that I know full well that this will eventually go down to like 15 quid at some point. It might take a year, it might take 3 years, but it will go down to like 10, 15 quid. It's just how it is, right? So do I buy it at 30 and play it and then stick it on the shelf and let it depreciate in value until eventually in 20 years time it does go back up in value? Or do I just wait and just wait and wait and wait? Am I desperate to buy that game? And that's another little piece of advice, and I think it's just common sense for everyone. Only spend what you can afford. It's your money, you can do what you want, of course, but only spend what you can afford and ask yourself the question, can I wait? Because yeah, okay, 32, 29.99, whatever. It's a good deal for this game. It is a good deal. But do you need it right now? Can you wait to play it? Because in time at CEX, that will come down in price. That game will be cheaper in 3 weeks' time. It will be cheaper in 3 months' time. And then eventually in a year, you'll be able to pick it up for pennies. That's just how it works, right? With every single game, not just Street Fighter 6. One of the games definitely going on my list to check out is going to be the new Red Dead Redemption on the PlayStation 4. I will look at it on the Switch as well, but I don't know how well that's going to play on the Switch. I do really need to go and look at some sort of review. But with that being said, it's $39.99 on the game website. It is currently $35 in CEX, which is far too much to pay for a game that I've completed 14 times already. And then when I go and have a look at Amazon, it is the same price as what CEX are selling it for. And that's one of the biggest gripes I have with CEX. It's just that I can get that brand new on Amazon with 1 or 2 clicks of a button, and I can just sit in my house in the warm sometimes, and it will eventually arrive. Well, it'll be here tomorrow, the 16th of November. It will arrive tomorrow afternoon. Or I can walk to town or drive to town, whatever it may be, go into CEX, hope that they have one in stock, and pay the exact same price for a second-hand one that has got grubby fingerprints all over it, scratches or whatever it may be, and then come home and play, okay, fair enough, I can get it today, so long as my one has it in stock. But why would I do that for the same price? Why? Let me know what games you are planning to pick up this Black Friday and whether you have a list already. Do you have any other tips you can share with us? I can't really think of anything else that would really help besides be sensible and have a list of games you already want to pick up with the original prices so that you don't get scammed here. When it comes to going into stores to buy these rather than buying them online, I think Asda's a pretty good place to look. I don't think independent video game stores will have Black Friday sales for the most part. Some of them might do, and they're probably worth checking out, of course. But when it comes to like the big chains, Game will definitely have one. CEX never participate. And then you're looking at things like Asda and any other sort of other retailers that carry some video games. Maybe HMV carry video games. Some of them do. I know mine doesn't. But it might be worth popping in and having a look. Just know the original prices. Don't get scammed this November. In the next video, I will take a trip over to America to have a little look around Target to see what they offer their customers, and I may or may not pick something up. If you want to check out another video from me though, you can click here, and until that next video, goodbye.